That is why we thought that we needed to wait for this moment, and we issue this statement. The President of the ANC, Comrade Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, in his capacity as the President of the country, will be here tonight. As the President of the ANC on Tuesday evening at Luthuli House, he will speak and thank all the people who have voted for the ANC and all our volunteers and everybody who have campaigned in this election. And the Tuesday event is not a celebration because there's nothing to celebrate in terms of the performance of the ANC. The Tuesday event is to thank our people and through the President and the leader of our party, the leader of the African National Congress, to speak to the people about the election results and the outcome. As tonight will not mainly represent the ANC, but will be about South Africa as a country and South Africans who have taken time to cast their vote. We are presenting a statement as a reflection by the ANC in terms of the results thus far. So I wish to make that particular point at the beginning so that we are much clearer about the path we are traversing and we are following. The African National Congress commends the people of South Africa for once again demonstrating the strength and vibrancy of our democracy. While we still await the formal announcement of results by the IEC, it is clear that the ANC has won most votes and remains the most popular party in South Africa. 6 million people from those who voted have voted for the African National Congress. The ANC has also achieved a decisive majority in 5 provinces. The ANC thanks all those who voted for the organization, who showed confidence in our concerted efforts to get our country back on a path to prosperity for all, and for supporting our efforts to rid the ANC of corrupt elements as part of our renewal process. The millions of South Africans who voted for the ANC have seen the effects of the work we have done to end load shedding, to revive our infrastructure program, to provide social protection to the poor and unemployed, to provide work opportunities and work experience to young people, and to hold those responsible for corruption to account. The ANC emerges from this election with a firm mandate to continue this work to rebuild the economy, create jobs and corruption, tackle the high cost of living, and continue the transformation of the economy and society. While the ANC has won the most votes in this election, the results show a significant decline in the ANC support from previous elections. While there are several factors that have contributed to the decline in support, the results send a clear message to the ANC. We wish to assure the people of South Africa that we have heard their concerns, their frustrations, and their dissatisfaction. Over the last 6 years, the ANC has been engaged in a process of renewal and revitalization. This process is not yet complete, and the election results show that we need to intensify and accelerate the fundamental renewal of our movement. We want to assure the people of South Africa that the ANC will not turn its back on renewal. On this matter, on the renewal and rebuilding of our movement, we will not compromise. The results also show people's concerns about shortcomings in governance and delivery. We enter a new term with both a clear mandate and a firm commitment to improve the maintenance of infrastructure and the provision of services in communities throughout the country. The ANC is committed to the formation of a government that reflects the will of the people, that is stable and that is able to govern effectively. The ANC is committed to pursue a path of fundamental social and economic change, for which it has received a firm mandate. Over the next few days, the ANC will be having discussions within the organization and with other parties and stakeholders on how best to establish national and provincial governments that reflect and that are able to take the country forward. The voters of South Africa have shown that they expect the leaders of this country to work together in the interest of all. We will continue to act responsibly, progressively, and at all times in the interest of the people of South Africa. We will continue to uphold the rule of law and call on all South Africans to respect the laws, rules, and codes that govern the conduct of elections. It is through the consistent application of these rules that over the course of 30 years, our freeness and fairness of our elections have been assured. We call on all South Africans to resist the efforts of those forces who want to weaken our democracy, who want to undermine our electoral processes, and who want to disregard the will of the people. As a nation, we will stand together against those who threaten violence and instability. The people of South Africa, as they have shown in the past, will not tolerate any threats to our democracy. The people of South Africa have made their wishes known in free and fair elections, and we must all respect them. The ANC once again extends its appreciation to all voters, and many of whom waited in queues for several hours, even late into the night. We want to also congratulate political parties who have won the hearts and minds of the electorate, and it is the people's choice that reflects the outcome and the percentages that they have received. The ANC thanks the Independent Electoral Commission, its staff and election workers for their contribution to successful election days. We also thank all party agents, observers from the continent and abroad, police and defense force personnel, and members of the media. As we have done since the formation of our movement, more than 112 years, the African National Congress will put the interests and the well-being of South Africans first. Let's do more together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Secretary General. On that note, let us do more together. We remain committed to that mantra. I will, at this point in time, open up 4 questions from you, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. I am trying to look in my left direction. I just wish you could raise your hands a bit higher, given the lighting in the auditorium. I don't see anyone to my left. I will go to my right. Okay, please just indicate. There's a very strong light that is cast this side. Just for my benefit. Introduce yourself, the media house you represent, and proceed.
Good morning, Alpha Amushwana here from Eyewitness News. Mr. Mbalula, I know you've spoken about Zuma so many times since December 16th when the MK party was announced. But don't you think you sort of underestimated the power the man has, especially in a province like KwaZulu-Natal? Because honestly, they mopped the floor with the ANC. And we had been asking these questions leading up to the elections, and you had been giving us, portraying a nonchalant attitude towards the MK party. Don't you think that the ANC, NEC underestimating Zuma and his party is the reason why here today? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Eyewitness News. Anybody to my left? Yes, please go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Thank you. I'm Mtila from ENCA. Just on Mr. Zuma himself, maybe could you have done things differently in terms of dealing with the emergence of the MK party? Are you still going to go ahead with disciplinary proceedings against Mr. Zuma for actively, campaigning against the ANC itself? Have you reflected as leadership in terms of the reason you've got such, not so great results as a party? And will you be speaking to the MK party in terms of coalition talks, given that they made it clear that they don't want the ANC, well, Ramaphosa-led ANC? Would that be something you're willing to consider, maybe the removal of President Ramaphosa in coalition talks with the MK party?
Thank you, ENCA. Do we have anybody else to the left? Right at the back, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Parley. I'm from Inside Politics. When you mentioned that, I know it's probably too early to tell at this moment, but when you mentioned you're open to working with other parties, does that include the DA? And how would the ANC facilitate such a coalition? Thank you.
Thank you very much for insight. I will take my sister over there from Russia, Chile, if I'm not mistaken.
It's Fikile Mbalula from the Daily Mavericks.
Oh, no, dear. Okay.
So my question is around coalitions and the non-negotiables from the ANC side, and then rumors around people within the ANC who assisted the MK party with campaigning quietly so. Do you guys know anything about it, and is there a possibility that the ANC will be looking into that?
Thank you very much. I will take yourself just behind Quinn. Go ahead, my brother.
Thank you so much, Second from IEC News. SG, can you just get a firm response regarding what the former president said last night? Thank you so much.
If you could just reiterate what he did say, because he said a lot of things for the benefit of ESG.
Okay, just on the aspect of the perceived threats of violence that came out from the day.
All right, thank you very much. I will take the last hand and then we'll have another round. Right there at the back, please go ahead.
Christian de Plessis from Netwerk 24. SG, due to the ANC's performance, will the ANC be looking to remove certain people from power positions in the ANC? And is the job of the president of the ANC safe at this stage? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will now turn to Communication for that first round of responses.
Tough questions. Thank you very much. Let's start with EWN. Zuma factor. Zuma was affected in this election, and the same as the formation of Umkhonto weSizwe. And we knew that. And we did not talk out of turn about Zuma. We were exposing the untruths in the campaign that he was talking about, and also defending our own party and our own organization in terms of those untruths. We never underestimated Zuma. We knew that he would get support in Natal, in Mpumalanga, and Gauteng. And that is why we put up a fight in relation to him and his party, and also mobilizing our people. And you all saw us on the ground. And you even did mention the fact that the ANC is spending a lot of time and money in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, because you yourselves, you knew that we are being challenged in these two provinces heavily. Also because Gauteng, we won it, but not convincingly even last time. We just ended at 50%. So, and also because these two provinces constituted the biggest populace in relation to the election. And so our challenge was there. And we spent a lot of time and resources in terms of this campaign, working very hard to convince the people. And of course, there were big challenges on the ground. Water crisis in KZN was the biggest, and we entered the election dealing with challenges of load shedding. But Zuma on his own, and because he comes from that province, was effective in terms of the campaign of the ANC. And it is shown in the results. We have lost even some of our strongholds to the MK party in KwaZulu-Natal. I mean, so it looks like we were marching with Zuma Machina as we were working on the ground. So it is reflected in the results and so on. So going back to the drawing board, this will be analyzed carefully by our team led by Nomvula, our DSG, who was heading our election campaign with Mdu as the election head. So the team and the research team will come to us and so on with all those factors. We had to fight hard in this election, ladies and gentlemen, because even our own research did point to dangers that the ANC will get 43%. But we stretched ourselves in a way that we convinced the people to vote for us. All sorts of factors were against us. You yourself as a media, collectively and individually. I saw you in the queues punching the line, change, change, change. And most of you, we don't control the media. Even after the results, you are using very harsh words. The ANC have been booted out and all of that. We are not booted out. We suffered heavily, but we are not out. We're still a force to be reckoned with. And your polls and everybody else, which we did not argue with, did tell a story that we will be in our 30s and all of that. So we believe in persuading the voters. And we ran a very clean campaign. A clean campaign, we're not dirty. We believed in the power of our message to the people and what we are there to offer. Of course, the sense of incumbency, we're also eating in our capital, so to say, politically. In terms of how far we could have gone, you will see in this result that our enemy, which is a low voter turnout, affected us also. There were glitches there and there, which were fixed to a certain extent by the IEC, but we don't count that as eating in the morale of our electorate. We accept the results and we congratulate the IEC for all the efforts they've put to run a free and fair elections. ENCA, again, Zuma. ANC does not change things because of the weather. If you're a member of the ANC, you work by the rules of the party. And those rules means you've got to abide by the discipline of the party. And Mr. Zuma has been suspended by the ANC, and the ANC will follow through all the rules of the party. The party is not decimated. It is led by Ramaphosa and all of us. Yeah. And you don't change the rules because of the outcome of the elections. Otherwise, you will not have a party. So the rules of the ANC will remain. MK party talks, we're talking to everybody. There's nobody who are not going to talk to. Like I said to you at the beginning, when I was talking to you outside, let me repeat it again. We've been approached by political parties, as it is normal, and the outcome is clear. Nobody has got outright majority. So we'll talk to everybody. We'll talk to everybody. And don't want to distort things, talking to the DA, we are talking to the MK party, we're talking to EFF, we're talking to everybody. Because the election did not give us outright majority. Those who don't want to talk, we can't force them. We're looking at our scenarios, we're looking at the options before us. We're having a National Executive Committee meeting on Tuesday, which will report on these talks about talks. Otherwise, there will be no talks if we reached outright majority. I cannot stand here and tell you that I've got a mandate to tell you that we will not talk to everybody. I've got a mandate from the leadership of the ANC as of yesterday that we must engage with political parties who are engaging with us. And political parties have approached us. And we will be talking to them. We've got a team led by the Secretary General that will be talking to everybody in the talks about talks. And we'll report about those talks tomorrow to the officials, we'll report to the NWC, we'll report on Tuesday to the NEC. And the NEC will then take a decision informed by its own analysis that it will have received on these matters, what needs to be done. So that's where we are. Talks are in full swing. We are engaged and we are open to engagement. Up until this far, except like in the last election, Mashaba was walking here like a king. And then he said, I don't know where he is in the scoreboard. I saw him, he won the recount. Elections will humble you. It's like a game of golf. Mashaba declared here that he would not want to talk to the ANC. You have talked to political parties yourselves, and you have engaged with them. We are here today. None of them have said they don't want to talk to the ANC. None. None of, even ourselves, we are not saying we will not talk to anybody. We've got our own principles that we have long adopted in terms of coalitions. And we said that a coalition is a consequence. When you don't have a majority, you deal with it. There are many options on the table, including a rerun, including going back to the benches, including working with others. Those who want to work with you to constitute government. We need stability in this country. And like I said in the statement of the ANC, we will put the interest of the people of South Africa first. The coalitions have not worked for us in this country. It has brought instability and all of that. But it is the will of the people. It is the will of the people, and that is what we must accept. It is not an outcome. We ourselves cannot abandon the ship because we've got 6 million people who are still standing and believing in the African National Congress. If we had 1 or 2 million, it will be political obliteration, decimation. You can mention the names. We are not decimated. We are blown but not out. We're still standing. And we will come back. Now, you don't analyze a match by the results, wonderful results of Orlando Pirates yesterday. Orlando Pirates yesterday, which have really worked on me positively as a supporter. So nobody won in this election, only Orlando Pirates won yesterday. the president of the ANC, and if you come to us with those demands, forget it. If you come to us with a demand that Ramaphosa must step down as a president, that is not going to happen. We've got no such mandate. We are not going to engage with political parties on the basis that we don't want to talk to so and so and so. We're not going to do that. Because we don't run political parties. You asked me about MK party. We've got many reservations about that party, but we will talk to them. If they want to work with us, we will map out how we want to do, but no political party will dictate terms like that to us as the ANC. We will not. That is a no-go area to everyone. It's a no-go area. It's a no-go area. You come to us with that demand, forget. And I've heard some of you murmuring even in the bathrooms. Ramaphosa, when ANC loses power, is going to resign. Why did he stand as a president? You stand in an organization in bad and good times. These are bad times. When we signed to stand, people have asked us a question, Nongula and others, are you going to step down? When we agreed in Nazareth to the branches of the ANC that we stood, it meant even for occasions like this. And we are leadership. Our leadership is tested. You don't run away. So, awubaleki empini uyabona ngoba isiza uyama ume ngci naxa ungumfazi umsali wasibili athwala thipa kabali nomvula abaxabona lo ukuthi uthwala thipa kabali kunzima. So we're men and women who have been given a responsibility in our party to lead. And will lead our party and will give an account in the General Council, will give an account even to the National Conference about this moment. And we will equally give answers as a leadership about what went wrong and how do we get out of this quagmire. We knew that we were in trouble. It's not like we didn't know. And we fought very hard. Our structures, the president leading from the front, we threw ourselves into it. We didn't sleep because we knew that we were in danger. But this danger can be corrected, and it will be corrected by the current leadership. Inside politics, working with other parties, it will be informed by negotiations and discussions. It will be informed. We are open as the ANC. Like I told you that there is an option to work with a party. There is options. They are there. Even the last option of working from the benches, it is there. There's an opposition. The ANC will not weigh up, will engage with each, but informed by the discussions we've got with other parties, because we did not win a majority. And that is a fact. If we won a majority, it will be easy. We will move with speed to constitute governments where we have won and appoint premiers in the next coming week. By Thursday, we'll come back to you and announce our premiers as agreed by the National Executive Committee. We will be done with that task. We've got to prepare to go to the National Assembly, talk with other parties and all of that. That work has begun as of yesterday. As I'm speaking to you now, we're talking to parties. We're engaging with them. The officials met yesterday already. We will meet tomorrow on Monday. Officials in the NWC on Tuesday, there will be an NEC meeting. And on Tuesday in the evening, we will thank our volunteers and supporters who have supported the ANC in this campaign. And the president of the ANC will speak there. Again, walking on the footsteps of being empowered by the NEC, but equally by this statement we are putting across as an organization. So we are ready to work with everybody, but we've got perspective, we've got principles. But you recognize that in these elections, like in a coalition, you don't work necessarily on the basis of ideology. Sometimes you work on the basis of interests, and at the same time for the stability of the country and everything else. So we must not be preempted through faceless reports, false, fake news. Mbalula is meeting with Rupert and Oppenheimer. Nonsense. Never met with them. And then Oppenheimer is about, if Oppenheimer loved the ANC, would have given us money, gave it to Rising's Heart. And I don't see them here. Rising's Heart. So he gave the money there. The ANC fought for itself. None of these people you are mentioning today have given us money or shown support to us. My preoccupation and our preoccupation has been to interpret the results and at the same time to make a reflection. And my job as a Secretary General, working with the collective and the officials, was exactly to do that. So I can't spend time here at the Election Operations Centre. Mbalula was here. Where Mantashe is your friend, is always here. And all of them, they've been taking interviews. Duntuli has been here. My job with others has been to sit, think. The job is too much. It's too much. I mean, meet with provinces, prepare provinces to elect premier candidates. We must interview those people. There must be meetings. The organization must operate. So where will I get time? And then at the same time, we must talk to other political parties. Yes, we talk to parties. We engage. And that's it. And parties approach us and we engage with them. And that is what we're going to do. Rumors and people, it's not going to help the ANC. Rumors, even myself, my sister, I've heard about them. It's not going to help our organization to start pointing, finger pointing, that in KZN were betrayed by one of our own. If we sensed that we knew in KZN, particularly that Zuma has got a strong touch. If there are people who aided him, we'll unmask that. But we equally know why MK Party was formed. And we know that. So I wish to pause. And don't ask me again about it. I'll talk one day. Not now. So Kuluma ngelinye ilanga. Not now. World News, threats of violence. Our statement is very clear. We condemn any threat of violence. If people have got concerns, they must raise them with the IEC through the procedures of dispute. We are not saying people must not dispute. They must raise their issues. But going to violence and merge our country and our democratic processes into violence is not going to help. There are many things that sitting here I'm not happy about. And that happened on the election day. But if you ran elections, you have been in the game, those things do happen. You can complain, you need to check. If you complain, is there any material effect on the results? Nothing. You can complain for a VD somewhere that things did not go well. If I dispute that and it is addressed, we are happy with that. So we commend the IEC for a job well done. We will be at dinner tonight of the IEC at 7 o'clock. Removing people, will we be removing people? We don't remove anyone. I've explained that particular point. The task of the leadership is to deal with almost sinking a ship. The results have shown us that if we don't strengthen the renewal and many other things we needed to do as a party, we will be gone. So it's no longer a pipe dream, the issue that the ANC can be cut below 50%. It has happened in our lifetime. So we need to correct ourselves, the path we have started, the things we have been warned about by society, by the elders, and everyone else. And I forgot to thank our alliance partners, COSATU, Communist Party, and SAMCO, and the broader Mass Democratic Movement, SASCO, COSAS, the Women's League and the Youth League for their contribution in this campaign, smart campaign, even if I have to say it myself. We did the things that campaigners do to woo the votes. We strengthen our voter contact like nobody's business. The leadership leading from the front. We ran a very short campaign, 3 months. And we thought that would have made an impact, would have been heard. The people did hear only 6 million turned out to agree with us. So we're not going to remove anyone. Anyone who wants to do that, including the ANC, there are procedures to do so. I've seen other people. We will never allow looking at ourselves. That's normally what happens. You leave the elections, the concerns of the people, the immediate task the party is focused on is leadership. Who becomes the next leader? That thing is not going to give ANC any better result. You spend the next 5 years fighting for a single leader in the organization. Our job is to start doing things right, as we have done, in preparation for the next election, and not rock up in the doorstep of the people on the election day. Elections are not won like that. So we must continue with the good work that we're doing and getting in touch with the people, and that is what is important for us going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. May I now turn to the right? I have 2 hands on the front table, and there's that spotlight, so I'm going to ask that we continue with the practice of introducing ourselves.
Thank you, Mrs. Mashani. My name is Yamtanga Tapa, News 24. Mine is about the Northern Cape. Without preempting your own diagnosis and analysis of what happened there,